Hey guys, Derek here from Pacific Coast Auto, and we're looking at a 1991 Toyota Celica GT4 RC model. This one here is 220,000 kilometers, and because of that, the vehicle price was quite a bargain, especially considering this is the RC model, of which there are limited production, and it is an authentic rally car. And what I mean by that is only 5,000 of these were made in order for Toyota to qualify the Celica for Group A rally. This is the real version of the car that they would use for their rally, with all the little rally goodies in it. And so let's take a look at the vehicle. I'll give you a quick explanation about what's different between this and the standard GT4. But before we get into this, just to let everyone know, in case you didn't already, the Celica GT4 is a four-wheel drive version of the Celica with turbocharged 200 horsepower engine. This one, being the RC, has 230 horsepower, and kind of interesting because the Japanese one is 230, whereas the world market ones were 205, 210 horsepower. It is a pretty awesome car. This one was a budget version. It has a number of problems on it, but still, despite the problems, I think that it was a really good deal for this car. So let's take a quick look. First off, it uses the 3S GTE engine, same as the turbo MR2s, but this one here has a little bit of a specialness to it. Notice that the intercooler on the top just says Celica instead of having all the fins that you're used to seeing in an intercooler, and that's because that is a water-to-air intercooler instead of your standard air-to-air intercooler. And so that is an addition for the RC model, whereas the standard one has a regular intercooler on it. Plus, the intercooler size is bigger. What else is different about the engine? Bigger turbo. This one also says, "Don't touch my damn turbo" on it. Okay? It has alternator cooler. Cool your alternator, can't have that go out on a rally. And has something kind of interesting here that matches up to something kind of interesting here, which I'll show you once we lower the hood. Now, 220,000 kilometers, that's pretty high. The engine is so smooth and so nice. And I didn't read anywhere about it, but I believe that these vehicles possibly have the engine super balanced in order to participate well in the rallies, and that's why this one is so good after this high of mileage. We have adjustable suspension there, stock strut bars. Air intake is kind of cool. It comes in from the fender and into the turbo and into the super power of the engine. Gonna lower the hood here. We'll talk a little. Ouch! Oh, it's heavy on my head. Yeah, downside of using one hand for lowering the hood. Oh, and timing belt was changed at 180,000 kilometers in 2015. So it looks like it's had pretty high mileage in the last few years. Okay, give you a quick look. And of course I put the headlights up because it's company policy to put the headlights up on retractable headlight cars. Okay, I'm gonna go over the auction sheet, and then I'll go over kind of the specialty of the RC and a couple of the other pieces that came with it. Okay, so in 1991, Celica, notice if you can read Japanese, it says Celica and not Celica, GT4 RC, and I have to mention that every time I sell a Celica because we get millions of comments saying, "You're an idiot, Derek, you don't know how to pronounce words." 2000 cc, auction grade 3.5 with an interior D, 219, 738 kilometers. I drove the car, it seems pretty good for the mileage. Looks like the clutch might need to be replaced, not that it's slipping, but it's really close to the bottom, and probably a difficult thing on this car from what I've heard. Now, the original car was black and has been color changed to white. A little bit weird. As far as I could remember, these were all white, but I could just be thinking about that car, which is an RA version, Subaru's version of the rally car of the day, homologation special, and they only came in white as well. The Evos, I believe, only came in white for their rally version. Anyways, I'm probably wrong about that. WRC homologation model, only 5,000 of these cars were ever made, and in Japan only 1,800 of them were ever sold, and so pretty rare car. And so when you find these, you can buy them in pretty much any condition and not feel like you're an idiot. Purchase from user, twin cam turbo. Okay, aftermarket aluminum wheels. They are Oz Racing. They are 16-inch, which is a little bit sad because rally of that day you have to have 15-inch wheels, and if I had an official rally car, I would stick with 15s. Okay, adjustable suspension. Kind of weird because they decided to put it up to the highest height possible, I guess to give it that rally look. Or maybe they had a driveway that was really steep. Don't know. Okay, bucket seats. Okay, here's the report. What did they say about it? Oh, Momo steering wheel, missed that. Wheels scratched, steering wheel scratched, console has screw holes, headliner is dirty, dashboard comes up large, kind of a Toyota problem. You can see it right through here. They always come up right next to the windshield. Okay, Previa's gonna run me over. You saw the camera go down there because I was bowing, because that's what we do in Japan. Okay, driver's seat 10 centimeter rip, underside surface rust, exterior has paint wave on it because it's been color changed. Front fender cover, one part is missing. UC1 on the roof, and so that's a little bit of rust on the roof next to the windshield. U3 is a large dent in the front right fender there. We have a small dent over there. Otherwise, the body is pretty good. So let's take a quick look here and do a once around of it. Okay, the 16 still looks small by today's standards, but I guess they kind of suit the car. The white on white is a good look, and at least they went with kind of a rally look wheel like the 5-spoke Oz's. Okay, this one's a wide body. The Celica came in 2 different widths for this generation, and the GT4 came in the extra wide. This one is the extra wide. If you know about the GT4 in the US, that's where this one is going. All the US model GT4s are wide bodies. Somebody asked for a walk around on that tree. I don't know what to say about that. Anyways, so just to show you the wide bodiness of it, a lot of people don't even realize that it is a wide body. It is very subtle. Okay, so body wise, the RC comes with a very different hood. And so you have, instead of a hood scoop shoving air into an air-to-air intercooler, you have a vent that vents off all of the air coming in from the new bumper. So this bumper has a lot more airflow. It's like 200% more airflow than the standard one. And that's because it doesn't have a steel front member and has an aluminum one that's much smaller. And it allows more air in. And so this is where the air comes out. Okay, you also get more air coming out of here, but not in the stock setup. The hood liner kind of gets in the way of letting the air out. It's got one on either side, and it has this really cool extra little spoiler that you don't realize is so cool until you take a look at the car in your rear view mirror, because then when you do, that kind of pops out. Because see, it's, I don't know, it looks cool to me, and I noticed it instantly when I took a look at this car through a rear view mirror. Okay, what does this do? A lot of people are wondering about this because it looks technical. It looks like a hood scoop letting air into something. You would assume something like that goes into an air box, but as we know, the air box comes in from this vent here. So what does that do? Well, Toyota found that in their rally cars, they kept melting the cam belt housing and snapping their cam belts when they were rallying, which obviously you don't want to do, even if it is a non-interference engine, which this one is. You can't finish the rally if your cam belt snaps. And so this one here plums air directly into the cam belt housing, and so that allows it to cool down while you're pushing it hard in the rally cars. Now in regular daily driving, I would be very surprised if you ever snapped a cam belt because of too hot, but it is cool to have it. Here's the piece that's missing. Take a look. This piece here is supposed to connect onto there, but it doesn't. That's what the auctioneer sheet was talking about. Here's what it normally looks like. You can use the standard piece from the regular ST 185 or any of the other Celicas. It all fits in there. So front bumper is lighter. Rear bumper is also lighter. Let me show you that. And it's smaller than the standard rear bumper, but not really noticeable unless you look at them side by side. The exhaust on this is a lightweight model, lighter than the regular GT4 RC gets here. Super light exhaust. Kind of cool how he didn't change the exhaust on this to an aftermarket one, even though you probably get better performance out of an aftermarket one. Okay, turbo 4-wheel drive. That's the badge that puts the smile on the face. On my face, at least. And it looks like I put a smile on the face of this driver because he's worn out the tires, and it's a 2011 tire. And they're completely bald on both sides. Front and rear, I guess. Yeah, okay. But they are worn out on the outside only, and so it leads me to believe that this car needs an alignment done. When they painted the car, they painted the inside of here, which is a little bit annoying, but the rest of the paint job looks to be pretty good. Like, take a look here. Doesn't have the big time problems with orange peel or wavy paint. So I'd say a pretty good job. Now, problems with the car. The U3 is right here. See that? Much smaller than I thought it would be, and so that's nice. Here's the rust on the roof. Now the camera's deciding to overexpose, which I guess is good. Usually it underexposes white cars. Maybe you can see that a little bit. Sunroof works, it's tilt and full opening, tilt and slide, I guess. And we have a little bit of rust over here that the auction sheet didn't mention. It's a very tiny spot right there. Okay, and right here. And the car's super dirty, I'm sorry about that, but this car was like, I am not coming into your lot clean. And I don't have anything to wash it with. And some rust down in here. Okay, underside looks to be fairly clean. Wow, cords coming out of the tires. That's how hardcore that driver was. All right, so really cool looking car. RC looks even better with the different bumper. The hood actually comes up quite a bit if you take a look at that. It's a pretty big bulge on the hood. I like my big bulges, and so very cool. My grandpa actually drove this generation of Celica for as long as I can remember, so it reminds me of him. Okay, so inside the car, let's see, should we open the trunk, this one? Inside seems to be pretty good for a 200 plus 1,000 kilometer car that is over 25 years old. Like the Supra, the Mark IV Supra, it's very driver centric with things pushed right around the steering wheel there. Okay, it uses some excellent seats, and it's really nice that these are the original seats in it. Sadly, there is a big rip in the driver's side. It's an electronic seat that has air for the back lumbar support, and then has pinchies here. So these ones move in and out by an electric motor, but that unfortunately doesn't work on this car. Here's your pinchies and your lumbar control, and here's the rip on the seat. Okay, this one, let me explain this because I love this about the seat. You want to tilt the seat back. Most cars you flip this and then it tilts back. It's true in this one here will move the seat forward and it'll move the seat back, but in a proper car like this and the Skyline GTR, it remembers exactly what your seating position is, so you don't have to reset it every time you flip the seat forward or back, and you can do it with this one here. That's how all seats should be, and unfortunately too many manufacturers don't want to do it that way because it costs more money, and only real nerds like me really care about that. But really good to know that they did the proper thing there. Quite a bit of wear on the bottom of the seat. Momo steering wheel, is that stock? I'm not sure. Okay, here's your gauges. Almost running out of gas. Automatic AC, and the AC does work. This one here is for your rally notes. Look at this. Now you're rallying with power. Okay, we are getting a little bit of like a low end frequency of the vibrations of the car in here. You give it a nice rev and it's very smooth though. So at idle it feels like it could be firing a little bit better. Time for a tune-up. I don't know if it's been smoked in. It has a mystery switch here, don't know what it does. Shifting feels like it's nice and tight. That's good. Got a little cigarette burn in here. Take a look. That's funny, cigarette ashtray is nice and clean. It doesn't smell like cigarettes, but we have a cigarette burn. Okay, off the back. Seats that are never used. They have tire marks on them because tires used to be in them. Okay, off the trunk. It would be sad to see this one go because I really want one of these cars. To be honest, I would take a 165 over a 185. I like them both, but the 165s are just super rare. And my dad had a 165 series when my dad had my grandpa had the 185. So they had kind of the father and son generation. It makes me want to have one now. Strut tower bar in the back here. Very tires in the way in the trunk. Kind of cool. It's like, we're going to put the thinnest possible material in here to keep the weight down and not have any cover in there. Oh, and one other thing I didn't mention, they use different gear ratios in this. It's actually a kind of tall gear ratio. It's a 388 in the back. I'm not sure, but the transmission itself has lower gears than the regular ST8 185 so that you can go brum, 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 brum when you're rallying. Okay, so that's going to be the end of this walk around. This one ended up being 15 minutes, but it's worth it. This is an excellent car, especially for the mileage and the price we paid, and so very happy to see this one come through our hands and go off to the USA. So thanks a lot for watching, and have a nice day.